Welcome back to Taiwan Outlook. We've been talking about the movie industry in Taiwan, and our guest today is Lisa Wang, a very famous movie critic in Taipei. Lisa, we've been talking about the competitiveness of Taiwan's movie industry.
Right.
But as we know, there are more and more internationalized cooperation among different sectors of the movie industry. Do you think our movie industry now in Taiwan is internationalized enough?
Oh, I think the movie-going scene, that's the movie market, is very internationalized and more probably Americanized than any other movie markets in the world, okay? And that for that part of it, you know, moviegoers do tend to have very good eyes for their movies, the ones that they like, the ones they don't. So they've grown into this pattern of really knowing their movies. So I like that.
Yeah,
right.
But apparently there must be some cultural gaps between different countries, and there are difficulties in bringing the two, sectors or two societies together. And what's the most difficult part in bringing that kind of internationalized cooperation into being?
I think, to some extent, the movie-making scene or the distribution, when you talk about studios, is still run by people who, what I call the old paradigm. So sometimes they fall behind, they lag behind the moviegoers, and they either they know it or they don't, and they find it hard to face facts. And that part, I think, is catching up, has a lot of catching up to do, okay? However, I really think, the storytelling, the story part of it that we just talked about is the most important thing, okay? Because I would say that movie making, technology-wise, is not that different in Taiwan or in the States. Probably some Hollywood productions have bigger budgets, okay, and they have studio distribution, and of course that's the upside to their industry. Taiwan, on the other hand, has the latest technology in movie making. That I don't doubt. It's really the people who are making movies that will be, the make or break in the future. Okay, and I would certainly encourage, broader horizon. When they decide to make movies, they should really seek the possibility of being released worldwide instead of just locally on, just the Chinese-speaking territories.
But the production of the movie is very important, but the distribution part is also very important.
Right.
But as you mentioned earlier, that even in the local market, the distribution system seems to be more old paradigms than open to the general public. Right. Do you think that the key companies control the distribution system that prevent other newcomers into this market? I
do think so. I think, part of their job is to stay the status quo.
That's right.
Okay, and there will be less competition. But, they have to wake up and smell the coffee or rose, whatever, okay? That it's a different world now, especially this age and time. You really have internet and, all the web thing out there. And young people here should really, try different ways to fight that old school, old paradigm. Because, you have so many possibilities, such as doing this HD thing, high definition, like a DV thing, and then you transform the whole thing into movies, later, if it's really catching some eyes. So I think what we try to do or should do is to really win this eyeball game first, trying everything you can, either on the net or, traditional distribution, whatever. Anybody who's got some interest in releasing the movie will try the best they can to help you do that. So I really think that the attention should not be, worrying about money or funding. It should be focused on movie making and storytelling.
That's right.
Okay, it's still the true grit that will grasp people's attention and will win over so many moviegoers, and by word of mouth, and you can do something with it.
Yeah, maybe the movie industry in general in Taiwan is facing a lot of difficulties, but some individual movie makers are very competitive. As a matter of fact, they are so competitive that they get a worldwide recognition. And Ang Lee is a very good case in point.
Right.
And what does this...
I knew his name is coming up. So,
so what does this success story tell us about Taiwan's movie industry?
Oh, I would say that Ang Lee is probably an American movie maker.
Not a real
to me, right? To me, it's it's my personal taste that I like all his American productions. It's probably what we call, you have to have some aesthetics of distance. That he controls his movie making. I think he peaked with the most brilliant work, Brokeback Mountain, a couple of years back. So Ang Lee is not the typical Taiwan movie makers we're talking about. He belongs to the world. He's the American scene filmmaker, and you cannot compare with this kind of level of movie making. Okay, Oscar winner, of course, and one of the few in Asia. Okay, and that's different. So I would probably say that we should put our feet on the ground and be more realistic.
So who will be the one you think is the typical movie makers locally produced in Taiwan?
I would say I truly enjoy the experience with One Sunny Day, what we call earlier, and too bad that the same group of movie makers didn't last very long. So I think more people should be trying harder and really have this more steady track record instead of just one up, one down, and then you forget all about them. I like them very much, but older generations award winners, we don't talk about these people that much anymore because I'm really looking forward to the future instead of the past.
Well, you encourage those people to follow the path by Ang Lee, to go to Hollywood and try to develop a better career in American film industry?
If they've got the break, just go for it, okay? But Ang Lee is a typical, not so typical case because he spends so much time in the States writing and then not working at all, only with that kind of endeavors that he later got the first shot. Okay, and I don't think these days it's the same case anymore. I've been talking about internet a lot because even on YouTube, if you have some great ideas, you will, it will explode into the scene, by way of YouTube or other means. So I don't think we should mimic anybody's success story. Instead, you should try whatever you can with whatever media you have. Okay, just go for it. And if you try hard enough, Ang Lee spent probably a decade not working, writing, and if you have that kind of enthusiasm, passion, then probably it doesn't take that long.
That's right.
Because this is a different day and age.
That's right.
And you have so many different new media in your hands, so it shouldn't take that long.
Another market that people have been talking about is Chinese market. In other words, we have similar cultural backgrounds, language, and so on. So some people suggest that it would be more competitive for us to produce films for the Chinese market. Do you think that's one way to go?
Oh, yes and no. Yes, it's because probably the story we tell okay, especially the old school kind of movies. People are still making them. They are probably more tailored to the Chinese market.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're culturally, well, technology-wise, probably falling behind somewhat. So they are more nationalistic.
Yeah.
So some of the older school of movie making can go that way. I really think so.
That's
okay,
right.
because it's long gone since the Taiwan moviegoers will ever appreciate productions like that.
Yeah.
So the no part, okay, of the yes and no is that I really don't think the two markets are the same markets.
That's right.
However, if you make one that's for the modern people and for the young generations, and then you may find a new niche there.
Yeah.
Because if you go to Beijing, then the moviegoers there are somewhat like the moviegoers in Taiwan, you know, under the age of 25. These are different people, not so much as what you would think of the Chinese-oriented kind
right.
of moviegoers. They're, on the other hand, pretty much the Hollywood kind of moviegoers.
Yeah.
So if you have the product, they'll be okay.
But we have seen a lot of cooperation among the, Taiwanese, Hong Kongese, and also Chinese
Right.
filmmakers. And that has become more popular. Do you think that's a good approach to produce that kind of film for all the three markets?
Yeah, I can name names. Okay, for instance, Zhang Yimou.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got his best work locally in China and the least budget kind of movies. Okay, older movies that were his best, and all those so-called big budget and. Across the Asian or so-called, across straits or Chinese-oriented kind of production don't really work as movies. They're
right.
like showcases of Chinese, martial arts or colors. No, they really don't qualify as good movies. So,
That's right.
yeah, I think there's still some, a lot of fine-tuning. For that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably we should not think that much about those kind of production, especially when the budget is controlled by the old school, by the old paradigm, when the distributors, in this part of the world are used to really very narrow niche, very single-minded kind of production
right.
mode. Okay, I don't think they really appeal to moviegoers in the future,
right.
the younger ones. Right.
You have been writing a lot of reviews of movies, and I think some people must have said to you that, why don't you make your own movie? Can you
I'm trying. Right.
What kind of movie are you hoping to produce or make?
Okay, I'm now running this project, trying to make movies in exactly the same way that I've been talking about, the more, on the spot documentary kind of movie making that you don't have to go into rent a, sound studio and lay tracks, what have you. And I'm trying something now, and the storyline is about, Palace Museum treasure got lost. Somewhat like, Da Vinci Code or National Treasure sort of treasure hunting thing, but in a different set of environments and with a very modern twist to it. Okay, so we'll see. I have a blog that probably people can go on. It's on Yahoo. So can I say the
No, that's okay.
The name? Okay, it's Yahoo .Ratch. Ratch, right, and I believe .com and /blog /fanpower 2008.
What a long name, huh?
A very long one, yeah, because it's so crowded.
and what do you think is much easier, writing a critic, a movie, or making a movie of your own?
remains to be seen because I'm really in the initial stage of this movie making. But I think, to me, the most important thing is to be fun. Okay, fun writing reviews, and it's got to be fun making this movie. And it's got to be fun the whole process, even for the people who are, working on the same movie with me. So it's got to be fun. So if you have the passion and you're so fun-driven, and I think the finished product will really relate to the moviegoers.
Yeah, and you've been watching the ups and downs of the movie industry in Taiwan for years. What's your take on the future of Taiwan's movie industry?
It's got to be our own thing. You got to have the local touch that even moviegoers would like. Okay, but on a different level, you got to connect with international moviegoers. And I don't think it's really that impossible to do because, as I was saying, that moviegoers around the world these days are under the age of 25. They probably tune into the same kind of movies, TV programs. They have the same kind of idea about entertainment. Okay, so I don't think there's that much difficulty in communicating your idea, your story. So I think there'll be many different possibilities in the future, but you have to believe it. And you have to do your own thing, and relate to not even locally, but the world.
That's right. Absolutely. We need to have our own movie. And wish you good luck on your new movie.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Taiwan Outlook, and see you next time.